Hello, students. Mrs. K here. I am going to discuss plot with you today. Let's start out with plot is fun. It's so much fun to figure out the plot of an amazing story. As fourth graders, you are now reading the story Bud Not Buddy. And our job when we think about plot is to be thinking about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. However, plot is so much more than just beginning, middle, end. It starts with the first plot part, which is called exposition. Exposition. And that is a knowledge of your characters and understanding who they are and why they might do some of the things that they do later on. Also, knowing your setting. Understanding where the story takes place, when it takes place, and what is the mood of the story. When we think about Bud Not Buddy, we realize that the mood is not really a happy mood. It actually is a little bit dark and a little bit sad. So we know that at the very beginning, when we first start reading. The next thing about understanding plot is realizing that it's very similar to climbing a mountain and getting to the top and then working your way down to understanding. The beginning of the plot mountain is an inciting incident. It's something that puts everything in motion. In our story, Bud Not Buddy, what put everything in motion was the fact that Bud's mom passed away and he was left without parents. This set the story in motion and led to lots of different things that would come up leading up the mountain, which would be called conflicts or troubles that he had. I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler now, my plot ruler, to add a few lines going up this mountain. And this is where I may record some of the conflicts or difficult times that Bud had along the way. We also know that Bud is searching for someone. He's searching for his real father. And that is going to be the part of the book called the climax. I'm going to right now just use my plot ruler to draw that in onto my plot map. So now I have these 3 lines going up the side. This is called the rising action. These are conflicts that will deliver us up to the top of the mountain. Troubles that maybe Bud encounters along the way. He encounters more than 3, but recording 3 will help us seal our understanding of the story. When we get to the very top of the mountain, this is called the climax. Now we know that Bud is searching for his father, his biological father. And that is something we're waiting for. So when that happens, it's going to be the climax of the story. Notice that when we travel up the mountain, we also need to travel down Plot Mountain. Once he hits the climax and either maybe meets his father or comes to a conclusion of who his father is for sure, we will start to notice that things start moving downward in our plot. That means that there may be conflicts and issues that happen after that, but the thing that we've been waiting for all along has already happened. That was called the climax. So now we'll just record a few things that happen after that. They could be problems, they could be more complex, they could be issues that he goes through after this occurs. And this is called the falling action. And I'm just recording that now on the plot map that I'm drawing. All of this falling action will lead to the final destination on a plot map. And this final destination, as I'm using my plot ruler to create a box, is called the resolution. The resolution is how the story ends. The final ending. This is the final piece. So therefore, if we go back and we think about plot again, we remember that it does show us the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. Next, the very first step of the plot is called the exposition. That is where I know my characters and I understand them. I know my setting. I know where it takes place. I know when it takes place. And I know the mood of my story. From there, I start to think about all of the conflicts and the troubles that happen after the inciting incident. The inciting incident is that Bud's mom passed away and he no longer had parents. And we know he had to enter an orphanage and he had to go into foster care, and he met a lot of struggles along the way, leading to the climax where we're hoping and wondering if he's going to meet his biological father. That is the climax of the story. The falling action will be everything that happens after that, which there will be things that occur after that, and they may be conflicts and problems. But in the end, there will be a resolution where the problem is solved and there will be a final ending to our story. And that is how plot works. I hope you enjoy recording all of the information about plot from this wonderful story we're reading, and I wish you well.